So let's bring in DA Davidson analyst Gil Luria. He has a hold rating on the stock, $160 price target. Gil, it's great to speak with you this morning. Let's start right there. How do you unlock more value at Alphabet?
The only way forward for Google is to do a big bang breakup. So spin off the ad network, spin off the cloud, the AI business, with or without the TPU business, spin off the TPU business, spin off YouTube. That's the only way shareholders will get the full value of these businesses. Yesterday was a great Google in a nutshell moment. They introduced all this technology that puts them in the lead in all these AI categories, the glasses, the translation, the strong models, the image generation, and the stock was down. It's been down for the year. It's bouncing back a little bit today, but it's been down. What that tells you is right now, because search is so overwhelming, the stock is just trading at 16 times earnings. So you talked in the previous segment about how valuable Tesla is based on a hypothetical robo-taxi. Alphabet has Waymo. Every time you take a Waymo ride, they lose money. 16 times that, the stock goes down. OpenAI is worth $300 billion. Every time you use ChatGPT, that value goes up. Every time you use Google AI, they lose money on that. 16 times that, the stock goes down. It's an untenable situation. They need to isolate the search business. It's controversial. It will continue to trade at 16 times. The other businesses are going to trade at 50 times. They'll trade at 10 times revenue, and that's how the stock can double. All the management team has to do is move forward on that kind of plan.
But we know Google, Alphabet, like others and other hyperscalers and others that are spending all of this money on AI are throwing tens of billions of dollars at that. So if they were to break this up, do they lose the ability to make those kinds of hefty investments that can be seen and realized across all these different parts of their company?
Not necessarily, because they can put the cash in the money-losing business. They could lever up Google Search, which is a cash flow machine, and they could raise tremendous amount of capital. Think about all the capital OpenAI is raising. Google has a better model. Our expert on the topic, Alex Platt, has told me that the Google 2.5, the Gemini 2.5, is better than any model OpenAI has. So if OpenAI can raise at this valuation tens of billions of dollars, then if you spun off the AI business from Google, it could raise capital as well. So there wouldn't need to be, you don't have to keep these businesses together. You could put the capital with the high growth businesses and lever up the search business. Shareholders would get a much better outcome.
Yeah. All right. So that seems to be saying that, you're not a believer ultimately that they can prevail in keeping their current market share in search and that the newer entrants in terms of AI are going to start to really take market share?
We're not a believer that Google search can keep its monopoly. And we could get into that a little bit, but it's beside the topic because this is going to take years to realize. This is going to take years to play out for us to find out what the answer to that. Until then, Google's trading at 16 times earnings, which is far below a market multiple, far below any other company at this size that's growing at these rates. So the best thing for them to do is isolate it. But on the first part, no, we don't think they can keep a monopoly. We're already hearing people ChatGPTing things instead of Googling things. And increasingly, these are commercial searches. What's the best insurance for me given these indications? What's the best toothpaste for me if this is my habits and this is my budget? People are asking ChatGPT those kinds of questions now. Those are the questions Google monetizes. The more those questions go to ChatGPT, the more likely it is ChatGPT is going to start selling ads. They just hired a CEO whose job it is to sell ads. Google's monopoly in selling search ads has to end. Even if they keep a big share, they're not going to keep a monopoly.
All right. That is the knock that very few people say I'm going to Gemini or go Gemini it. Gil, appreciate it. Good to see you, Gil Luria. Coming up.